27th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year B. A man and his wife become one body. A reading from the book of Genesis. The Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmate." So from the soil the Lord God fashioned all the wild beasts and all the birds of heaven. These he brought to the man to see what he would call them. Each one was to bear the name the man would give it. The man gave names to all the cattle, all the birds of heaven, and all the wild beasts. But no helpmate suitable for man was found for him. So the Lord God made the man fall into a deep sleep. And while he slept, he took one of his ribs and enclosed it in flesh. The Lord God built the rib he had taken from the man into a woman and brought her to the man. The man exclaimed, "This at last is bone from my bones and flesh from my flesh. This is to be called woman, for this was taken from man. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and joins himself to his wife, and they become one body." The word of the Lord.
May the Lord bless us, may the Lord bless us all the days of our lives. May the Lord bless us, may the Lord bless us all the days of our lives. Blessed are you who fear the Lord, who walk in his ways. For you shall eat the fruit of your handiwork. Blessed shall you be and favored. Bless us, may the Lord bless us all the days of our lives. Your wife shall be like a fruitful vine in the recesses of your home. Your children like olive plants around your table. May the Lord bless us, may the Lord bless us all the days of our lives. Behold, children's children. Peace upon Israel. May the Lord bless us. May the Lord bless us all the days of our lives.
The one who sanctifies is the brother of those who are sanctified. A reading from the letter to the Hebrews. We see in Jesus the one who was for a short while made lower than the angels and is now crowned with glory and splendor because he submitted to death. By God's grace, he had to experience death for all mankind. As it was his purpose to bring a great many of his sons into glory, it was appropriate that God, for whom everything exists and through whom everything exists, should make perfect through suffering the leader who would take them to their salvation. For the one who sanctifies and the ones who are sanctified are of the same stock. That is why he openly calls them brothers. The word of the Lord.
Spirit and life, you have the words of everlasting life. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Some Pharisees approached Jesus and asked, "Is it against the law for a man to divorce his wife?" They were testing him. He answered them, "What did Moses command you?" Moses allowed thus, they said, to draw up a writ of dismissal and so to divorce. Then Jesus said to them, "It was because you were so unteachable that he wrote this commandment for you. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. This is why a man must leave father and mother, and the two become one body. They are no longer two, therefore, but one body. So then, what God has united, man must not divide." Back in the house, the disciples questioned him again about this, and he said to them, "The man who divorces his wife and marries another is guilty of adultery against her. And if a woman divorces her husband and marries another, she is guilty of adultery too." The Gospel of the Lord.
Marriage according to God's plan. Dear brothers and sisters, Shalom. On this 27th Sunday in Ordinary Time, the readings that the Church offers us speak of marriage as a gift from God. The first reading from the book of Genesis and the Gospel according to St. Mark clarify God's original plan for man and woman, which is marriage. After creating man and all other creatures, God recognized man's need and said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him." Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Dear brothers and sisters, God, who knows everything and understands everything, He actually knows what we need before even we express it. The only thing that is recommended to us is to trust Him at all times. Dear brothers and sisters, by putting the man into a deep sleep, God removed one of his ribs to make a woman. The creation of a woman has a close connection with man. This, dear brothers and sisters, raises the question of otherness, that of the identification of oneself in the other who is like oneself, because both are created in the image and likeness of God. The book of Genesis helps us understand this better through the man's exclamation, "This time, here is the bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, the union between man and woman, which we call marriage, was intended by God from the beginning. A man will leave his father and his mother and will cleave to his wife, and the two will become one. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. This union, dear brothers and sisters, is indissoluble. It is not temporary, which means that it is for life. St. Mark the Evangelist insists that what God has joined together, let no man separate. Mark chapter 10, verse 9. This commandment, dear brothers and sisters, sets aside the idea of divorce. Since marriage has only God as its origin, man has no power to break it. Unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic world where profit seeks to take precedence over everything, even over interpersonal relationships. Men, out of taste for pleasure, seek to objectify their women and use them as an object of satisfaction. The opposite is also possible. This, dear brothers and sisters, proves how man's way of loving is increasingly turning towards evil rather than good. The grandeur and sanctity of marital union is, in this case, trivialized. Furthermore, dear brothers and sisters, the woman is not to be seen as a servant to man or a lesser creature compared to man. She is a helper, a companion capable of feeling the loneliness of the latter. She is his ally, just as the man is for the woman. The two are meant to live united, helping and supporting each other to resist the spirit of domination, infidelity, jealousy, and familial conflict, which can lead them to hatred and rupture. Faced with the adversities of life, we Christians must take into account our responsibility towards one another, especially in bringing each other back to Jesus. Dear brothers and sisters, the cross that he carried led him to death, not as an end, but as a door to the glory of the resurrection. It is up to each of us to ask ourselves, to what degree Am I prepared to support others in their weaknesses? This could be a brother, a sister, a husband, or a wife. Because if we love one another, God abides in us and us in His love. And in us, His love reaches perfection. Let us, dear brothers and sisters, pray for all couples in difficulty, that through the intercession of the Virgin Mary, they may find comfort and strength in her Son, Jesus Christ. Blessed Sunday to you all.